So you're thinking about moving to Brooklyn Park, Minnesota? Well, in this video, we're going to let our fingertips do the walking and Google Maps do the talking. So if you stick around to the end, I'm going to share with you some of the best kept secrets of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, and some of the logistical niceties that you might not have been expecting. And we're going to get after it right now. If this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything that there is to know about living in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, well, you've come to the right place. Click that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and smash that like button on the way in so you can be the first one to know about the current market in Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Now, my name's Garrett Hilton. We get calls, texts, emails every single day from people just like you looking for help on making their move to Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. And we absolutely love it. So whether you're making your move in 9 days or 9 months, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. We'd be happy to make your move to Brooklyn Park, Minnesota a smooth one. Oh, and don't forget, all of our contact information is in the description below. All right, everybody, we've got a lot of material to cover and a short amount of time to do it, so let's share the desktop. Talk to you about Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. So let's hop in. And what I always like to do is to be able to look at the time when we do these videos, and this is happening during the summer. And during summer market, at least in the state of Minnesota, is kind of a big deal because that's when virtually 90% of all of our commerce is done because there isn't 3 feet of snow on the ground. So we're going to talk about, let's take a look at municipalities. And what you're looking at is a view of just what I look at as a licensed professional in the state of Minnesota and Western Wisconsin. And if you can see here, I can search by municipality, which is what I'm going to do. In Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, what actually is active on the MLS currently, and I can see everything that's available, which is super, super nice. And that's just part of being a licensed professional in the state of Minnesota. With access to the MLS, super, super nice. And our URL is old, so let's go back to, my screen must have timed out. So let's do Brooklyn Park. What do we got? Right there. Perfect. Okay, great. And then we're going to do what is active and what is about to come on the market. And we're going to do it under single family. And what is a single family? Single family, like from our designation, is basically it's a property that is not a townhome, nor a condo, nor a twin home, for simplicity's sake. Currently, we have 90 that are on the market. Let's look at some of the prices that are in Brooklyn Park. Let's go to the map. Swang. And as we said, we're going to let Google Maps do the talking today. Let's zoom way in on Brooklyn Park. Put that right at the center of our screen. Okay, if we look, we got Brooklyn Park, Brooklyn Center. There's Champlin right up there. We've got Coon Rapids across the river over here to the east. It borders Osseo, Minnesota, and Maple Grove as well. And to the south is Brooklyn Center. All right, so Brooklyn Park being bordered on the west side of the city of 169, and on the east side, Highway 252, and a little bit of Highway 610, 4710. And to the north of it, obviously, is 610. If you want to go really far up, we're bordered by the northern border of Brooklyn Park in some spaces or some areas. Would be I think it's the Mississippi. Yeah, it's the Mississippi River. I know that's terrible. I don't know my rivers all that well. However, I mean, I know them when I drive over them because there's a big green sign. So anyway, let's look at some of the values. So you kind of have 2 quadrants, Brooklyn Park. You have Old Brooklyn Park, which is 1970s, 1960s, 1950s, ramblers, split levels, and 2 stories. And then you have the year 2000s plus, that's on the north side. That's kind of the northern Edinburgh neighborhood version of it. And that was built all from, I would say, 1998 and older. Over here we have a pocket, and we can actually flash in on that. Okay. We've got a pocket that's West Broadway to Zane Avenue that borders on like 85th. And that was kind of the 1990s. It was like 1994 to 2001-ish at the latest, where in around the area of like 1999 to 2003, they just kind of filled in with some single level style, or in a smattering of split level style townhomes to basically use up whatever space was there in the city when they were talking about, or not talking about, but they were really pushing for more population density in Brooklyn Park. Anyway, so we'll flash out a little bit. Come on. Hold on now. There you go. Perfect. Okay. And what you're going to find is on the northern side, where I'm kind of waving my mouse right now, on the northern side of Brooklyn Park, on the north side of Highway 610 or Interstate 610, is the more Edinburgh. I mean, you got Thompson, Riverview Terrace. It's more like the north side of Edinburgh. And we're going to talk a little bit about that later when we talk about golf courses. But these homes are anywhere from 300,000 on upwards into the millions. And what's a good example here? Here's a good example of one of the more upper echelon homes that's on the north side of Brooklyn Park. This is very, very, very like northern Brooklyn Park. Smashed in there, smaller yards, but really, really well taken care of homes. That a lot of transom windows, a lot of honey oak. And now they're starting to become a little bit outdated, which is crazy. But man, that was 25 years ago when some of this stuff was built. So it's not the new hotness anymore. 550,000 was built in 2002. That's approximately 4,000-ish finished square foot. It's specifically 3,970. So if we were to highlight that for you, 3,970. Taxes, oh my gosh. Taxes used to be a lot lower in the state of Minnesota, so I'm sorry for the visceral reaction, but $7,000 for taxes to me is just, it's a lot. However, many of these homes that are in these more upper echelon executive areas, you're going to find that their tax basis is quite a bit higher. More valuable land, more valuable houses, and so your taxes, they're going to be more. So if you think of it, $7,000 divided by 12, that's essentially like, I don't know, $600 a month. 7 divided by 12, 700, whatever. Be $700 a month. Or, yeah, it'd be like between $600 and $800 per month for taxes. To me, that's a lot. That's on top of your mortgage, principal, interest, and insurance. That's a lot for a guy like me. For you, it might not be, but just to share that. Let's go back to the map and show you another one. Let's hop out of here. Now let's bounce down into the more southern central Brooklyn Park. You got Kings Crossing. This is the 1990s neighborhoods I was talking about. Get a 5-bed, 3-bath with 2,200 finished square feet. It sold for around $425,000, although we can't know any of that stuff quite yet because it's still technically active on the market. And we got to get moving here, so let's head over to the southern side. Oh, we got to resize this really quick. Let's head on down to the southern side of Brooklyn Park. And as you'll see, as we get closer into the city of Minneapolis from Brooklyn Park, that there are older and older homes because that's closer and closer to the epicenter or the beginning where things are 1880s to 1900s kind of an era. Winnetka Avenue. Let's see, when was this built? Right off Winnetka. Built in 1959. Oh, I love the loons in the background. So pretty in Minnesota during the summer. Yeah, this is a great one. 319,000. Transom windows in the bedrooms. Can't believe they ever got that to pass. No fireman can get through those windows. Huge yard. Detached 2-car garage. They even virtually staged a fire right in the center of the bonfire pit. Nice touch. Mature pines. Love these front windows. It's so cool. All right. So let's head over to a different type of housing, shall we? Let's go over and look at townhomes, condos, and twin homes. See, what do we got? We got 59 of them on the market. And we got coming soon. Ooh, here's a condo that's coming soon. 300,000. Scott Circle. So these were built probably, early 2000s. And this was when we had the huge housing push and the big bubble back in the early 2000s. And these are a great example. These were like Manor Village type of condos. They were just really, really cool. They had really, really large insides, 3-bed, 3-bath generally. Pretty sure that this is definitely the case of that. What is it? Oh, 2-bed, 3-bath. So they were 3 stories, 2-bed, 3-bath. Let's take a look at a couple more pictures. Do a quick hot lap. There's the kitchen, living room with a fireplace. Really good views. Yep. Breakfast bar. Cool. Love it. Separate dining. Wow. I mean, open concept separate dining. And the loons. I don't know if you can hear that in the background. They're really, really going nuts today. There's that. Oh. There's the half bath on the main. There's one of the upstairs bedrooms. And all in the upstairs, it'll all be bedrooms and bathrooms and laundry. Yep. Here's the condos, townhomes. Very large concentration of townhomes on the northern side of 610. And then, of course, just on the south side of 610 and right along the 85th Avenue. Here's a little bit more affordable version. It's a 2-bed, 2-bath for $165,000. Let's take a look at that real quick. Ooh, look at that. Look at that. Yep, you walk right in. You got a kitchen, a dining room, a galley kitchen, no less. Those are original cabinets with new poles, and they enameled them. Not a terrible upgrade. This looks like they freshened it up really, really nice. A lot of white on white now. That's trending hardcore, and a very, very light gray. Any of the dark stuff. The dark stuff is way out currently. And that's what's been really popular for quite some time. Cool. Beautiful townhome. 2-bed, 3-bath. Basement bathroom. So you could have a roommate. If for all of you out there that are looking to house hack, have a roommate help you pay your mortgage. All right. Tell you what, I got to wake up here. And generally, when we go out and we're going to be looking at homes, and especially when I'm out scanning an area or out driving around, I like to check out the local coffee shop. Teacup is one I've actually never been to. I've been to Caribou, Starbucks, and all the corporate ones in Brooklyn Park on a regular basis, but I actually haven't stopped at anywhere else other than like Annabelle House. So Teacups, I think it's a newer version or a newer coffee shop that's in and around Brooklyn Center or Brooklyn Park, excuse me. In Fridley, the Clapping Monkey, that's in Fridley though. And that's not in Brooklyn Park, but it's actually really close. And Clapping Monkey, I referenced that in a video. I think it was a pros and cons video. I think might have been one of my vlog tours. I'm not 100%, but it was the Clapping Monkey coffee shop, and there was basically like a pop-up bazaar that had all these people's pop-up shops for selling their vintage goods. It was pretty cool. It was pretty neat. Thought that was a pretty neat attraction in the city of Fridley. Moving on, of course, we always try to, if we can, if you are coming from out of town, I always try to show you a few of the restaurants and a couple of the top ones. One of them would be MT Noodles. I think it's a bit of a play on words there. Pancheros Mexican Grill, it's like a Chipotle, but and mildly different ingredients. Their sauces are a little bit spicier. I do like their burrito bowls. They're pretty all right. Dave & Buster's in Maple Grove. It's definitely a staple, which is really awesome in Maple Grove, right by Brooklyn Park. Maple Grove has a ton of shopping for you, and it's within, I'd say, like 5-6 minutes of the city limits of Brooklyn Park. So very, very close, especially for holiday shopping and just the everyday shopping that you normal folks would do as it relates to logistics. Grocery stores, we should actually search that. Let's do grocery stores. Check that out. There we go. We've got Whole Foods Market, which is nice. We've got an Aldi. We've got Maple Grove Cub. We have the Hy-Vee Bakery, which is also a full-on grocery store. 2 Aldis. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I like that. That's pretty great. Okay, cool. Anyway, so on the logistical side of you folks out there that really, really enjoy going grocery shopping, entertainment in Brooklyn Park. Let's talk a little bit about that, shall we? There we go. Okay, we're going to zoom out. Now we're going to zoom back in because it's not giving us our options anymore. That's kind of annoying. Okay, and we've got entertainment. Bear with me as I tip my glasses up so I can look down because I now officially have bifocals. Yikes. I am an elder millennial through and through. Entertainment in Brooklyn Park. Oops. Check that out. Yep. Bolero. I've actually been there. It's a really good bowling alley. They've got like 30 lanes, which is super nice. Mississippi Gateway Regional Park. That's a great place to catch some Z's on a hot summer afternoon under a tree, or bring out Fido the Golden Reliever. Plenty of dog parks too. We're going to talk about that in a second. Central Park. It's great for the kids. Brooklyn Park Activity Center is great for doing nothing less than activities. The Skull Then Distillery and Cocktail Lounge. So I would assume they do craft brews and craft spirits. And when I say craft, what I'm talking about is like the artisans, the folks that, make it in small batches. That's become a very, very popular thing in the state of Minnesota. Not sure about other states, but Minnesota breweries are like a huge freaking deal. Mad Jack Sports Cafe, they've got awesome waffle cut fries, and their sweet and sour dip is freaking amazing. Top Golf of Brooklyn Center, which is just a hop, skip, and a jump to the south. It's great for doing not necessarily target practice, but working on your drive and really getting your strength up there. That's one way to do it. Churches. Let's talk about churches. So, shall we? Living Word Christian Center is on the west side of Brooklyn Park. If you can see in the center here. It is on the north side of 694, just before you're about ready to kind of curve into the new part, the newer parts of Brooklyn Park. It is a Judeo-Christian based church, and so they teach Christianity. The church in Brooklyn Park is kind of like another version of that, another evangelical Lutheran or evangelical Christian church. A welcoming atmosphere and a cool pastor at Grace Fellowship. Let's see what else we got. Edinbrook Church, yep. Ebenezer Community Church, another one. All Judeo-Christian teachings. Bethany Baptist. Zachary Slavic Church. Now, I don't know much about the Slavic nations and what type of worship. I would assume it's Judeo-Christian teachings. However, I haven't done a lot of research into it. Winners Chapel International Minneapolis, or of Minnesota, which is a non-denominational church. Love that. St. Alphonsus Catholic Church. Pine Grove Bible Church, baby. St. Vincent de Paul Catholic Church. A lot of Catholic churches. Lutheran, Methodist. Yeah, just kind of a smattering. The Shiloh Temple of Brooklyn Park. Yes, that is awesome. Yeah, Buddhist Temple. Love it. Resurrecting Faith World Ministries. North Center Baptist. Yeah. So that's pretty good on churches. Everything's within like 3 miles. So super, super close. Super quick commutes. Dog parts for all you for all of those that have fur babies and are dog parents and or I don't know, pig parents or Pyrenees falcon parents. I'm a falconer now. I don't know if you're a Family Guy watcher, but that's all I can think about is Peter Griffin when he decided he was going to be a falconer.
Xerxes, I'm a falconer now.
Let's get serious. Brooklyn Park, River Park, which is a place for you to go run, fight out the golden reliever, get them exercised, and get them socialized with other dogs. Brookdale Park and Dog Park is another one. Southbrook Park, Central Park. Dude, there's a whole bunch of pet-friendly areas in Brooklyn Park. You're going to absolutely love this community. And where are my golfers at? Let's talk about the Edinburgh Golf Course. It is a public course. However, when Brooklyn Park was just being developed, somebody had the vision and the foresight to put an absolutely beautiful 18-hole golf course out there. Gorgeous greens, challenging greens, and really, really awesome restaurant and bar and such. Just a great place if you're a golf lover to be able to go and play on a regular basis, and you're within 15 minutes of downtown. Man, it's such a great community to be in when you got a golf course. Absolutely love that. All right. Let's see, what else do we got? What haven't we talked about today yet? Some of the sneak peek. Oh, let's landmarks. Historical landmarks in Brooklyn Park. Check that out. Brooklyn Park Historical Farm. It's an old farm. Historic Pierre Bottineau House, 12600 James Dean Parkway. Jimmy Dean. Mississippi Gateway Regional Park, which is great because it's right on the Mississippi, and you can sit and watch the river. It's just a beautiful, beautiful river. Northwoods Park, Brooklyn Historical Society. Oh, cool. I love that. Okay, that's on 85th Avenue. Historic Stone House. That's kind of cool. St. Anthony Falls. That's a cool attraction. A lot of biking trails. A lot of kayaking over in that area. The Lincoln Monument. Ooh. Monument to Abraham Lincoln. I cannot tell a lie. Well, this has been fun, y'all. I really appreciate you taking the time. This has been really good. Hey everybody, thank you so very much for watching the video all the way through to the end. It really helps out the channel. Make sure on your way out to click that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and smash that like button. We would really appreciate it. You stay classy.